Today we have something truly special. This is a bucket list moment for me because my dad and I are out here in Big Sky, Montana, checking out the Bentley Flying Spur Azure.
Or is it Azure?
That's right.
Anyway, I want to thank Bentley for flying us out here and letting us drive this special car because this is a dying breed, Tommy.
That's right. This is one of the last old school bespoke four-door ultimate premium luxury sedans, and in today's video we're going to take you all around the Flying Spur, show you the new design for 2025, talk about the interior, talk about the powertrain, and see what it's like on the road.
You know, when they first told us we were going to test drive this Flying Spur, I misread it and I thought it was a flying squirrel.
Flying squirrel. No, this is not a flying squirrel. This is the Flying Spur, and Flying Spur in Bentley speak means that it's a four-door luxury sedan. Later on, we're going to drive the Continental GT and GTC, and those are the two-door coupe and two-door convertible.
Well, shall we start with what makes this unique, and that is it has not one but two places you can put in energy.
That's right. So this 2025 model is a plug-in hybrid. So over on the right quarter panel, you're going to find the fuel for the massive twin-turbo V8, but almost more exciting for me is the fact that this vehicle can operate on electricity as well for about a range of 40 miles. So this vehicle has got a lot going on. It's got the V8 twin turbo, it's got an electric powertrain, it's got an 8-speed transmission, and it's got all-wheel drive. So there's a ton of technology underneath the hood of this Bentley.
And all-wheel steering, Tommy.
And four-wheel steering. You're exactly right.
Let's open the hood and show them a beautiful engine cover, because I'm guessing that this doesn't necessarily have a lot of engine to be seen.
Well, let's see what we're dealing with here. So pop open the hood. So there is that 4-liter twin turbo V8 hidden underneath the plastic cover and of course the aluminum strut brace here. Now the crazy part is you can get a Flying Spur with up to 771 horsepower. This Azure though is going to be closer to 700, which I think will still be plenty to get us through Montana today.
Yes, and I love the kind of new, they kind of refreshed the grille on the vehicle and made it a little bit more elegant, I think. I mean, it's got the bespoke and bedazzled headlights.
And listen, if you ever want to know if you're looking at an Azure, you can look at the badging on the front fender, but the easiest way to tell is the waterfall grille with these chrome slats that fall and kind of extend down the front of the vehicle. And then we also have the chrome bright work in the front end here with the mesh grille, which is a very distinct look.
Now, you know, Rolls-Royce does this thing where, of course, it's got the Spirit of Ecstasy on the hood. But Bentley has the Flying, what is that?
That's the Flying B.
Yes.
And don't try to mess with it.
No, don't mess with it, because it'll hide its little self under the hood very quickly.
Now come on over to the side here, Dad. Let's talk about this wheel package. So we're rolling on a set of Pirelli tires, 275/35, and then this is an R22-inch wheel in kind of this flat silver look. And then if you come around the side here, you're going to see that Azure badging there along that front fender. More bright work that extends down the side of the car. This is not supposed to be kind of the subtle blacked out trim. This is all about old school classic luxury. And then out back, you're going to also notice unique exhaust tips. And once again, that bright finish here, and then more chrome around both taillights. And then of course, this is a traditional four-door sedan with the large opening trunk.
So I have a question, Tommy, and we'll kind of show this in a second. Is this a car you want to drive, or do you want to be driven in?
Should we check out the back seat?
Yeah, let's check out the back seat. Why don't you jump in there and kind of see how comfy it is. Now, I was sitting in the passenger seat, so I've got it way back.
Yep.
But you can, of course,
adjust my seats on the controls here on the door.
Engine we're on.
Yep, that's right. We also have screens back here for multimedia, which is great. We've got our climate controls.
I'll give you the control.
Thank you.
And I'll start the car up.
Climate controls there in that center panel. And then we do have a little bit of additional storage here with charging capability. Very, very nice. And then if you need, this spec is also a true 5-seater, so that center console would flip up in a pinch. And it's about all the little details that Bentley excels in, like the organ poles for even the rear vents, like these little seat belt holders that are lined in chrome. It's all very, very nice. Thank you, Dad. You got the screen going here?
Yeah, let me show you the screen. Can I show them the screen? This is the coolest part of the whole car, I think.
Yep.
Check this out. You push this little screen button, and it rotates to give you these 3 little more traditional controls. Look at that, outside temperature with air quality, of course the compass, and then I don't know what that is. That must be a clock. So it's a clock.
Or a chronographer, yeah.
Yeah, and then you can just push this and you get your navigation. That is very nicely done, Tommy.
And back here, I also have this little screen where I can control pretty much everything via this little setting. I can even, that flying B, from the back here, I can conceal and reveal it all through the rear seat control. So you could be driven in this car, and you'd be very happy being driven in this car.
Let me show you.
I even got a little tray back here.
Let me show you something. So let me move this seat forward because I had it all the way back. Now you could be driven in the car. How about like that?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Look at this too, this little tray.
Oh, it's electric. How cool is that?
Power actuated. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, I wonder what's in here.
Those are probably going to be your little earphones if I had to guess.
Let's see. You're right, Bentley.
Beautiful. All right, should we check out the front seat?
Yeah, let's check out the front seat and let's look at the, what we have for a sticker, because it is interesting. It's all in pounds, of course.
Yeah.
But let's check out the front.
So this color is called Peacock Blue.
The outside color.
It's a really rich dark blue. And then on the inside, we have this wonderful tan with the contrasting dark piping, the dark blue piping.
That's linen, Tommy.
Very nice. And then,
Not the material, the color name is linen.
Like you mentioned, we've got that screen here in the center that controls Apple CarPlay, wireless auto, all of that's going to be here. We do have 6-position massage here for the front seats, heated, ventilation, all that. You got the little spec sheet here, Flying Spur Azure in Peacock.
So duotone cabin in linen and imperial blue leather, Tommy.
And then we have the name premium auto system. We've got the extended range solid and metallic paintwork. We've got the rotating display. We've got some other little options here. So this car starts at about $276,000 US. This one as configured though, it's a little bit more expensive, and you did the conversion from pounds to dollars, didn't you?
Yeah, it's about 260,000 pounds, and if you convert it to dollars, it comes out to about 360,000. But you know what, Tommy? This is one of those cars that if you have to ask,
you can't afford it.
Exactly right.
I do want to point out a couple other things down here in the center console. I love that this still has very much physical control. So heated ventilated seats, automatic climate control over here. We've got our different drive modes, our Bentley mode, our comfort, our custom. We also have electric mode there, so you can cycle between gas, hybrid, and electric modes using that button there. You can see some of the different settings there on the screen. And then the steering wheel, the wonderful two-tone imperial blue once again with audio controls here on the right. We've got some more things we can cycle here on the left. Real metal paddle shifters. And my favorite little feature is the actual cruise control, is this wonderful little knob down here. But before we get it out on the road, Dad, I want to take a little break here and record some shorts, which you can check out over at TFL Car on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. So we're going to cut here and then we're going to get it out on the road. Here we go behind the wheel of the Flying Spur. There goes that screen. We can't have CarPlay going, but I say we reveal the 3 beautiful dials, huh?
Yeah, and you know, Tommy, Bentley is part of the Volkswagen Group, and we just did a review of the Bentayga, and that felt like it had more of the Volkswagen Group pieces in it. This feels very bespoke to Bentley.
It really does, and I think part of that is because
the online recognizer. Please agree to the
decline there. We've got this European software here. I think part of that is because it's a very large, very unique looking sedan, right? There isn't a direct line you can draw between a Porsche variant or an Audi variant to this car. Even if it does share some platform parts, it has such an unusual and distinctive Bentley look that there's no question this is Bentley through and through.
Yeah, and I mean, I get the appeal of SUVs, but there's certainly some magic in a classic. Look at that, there's a deer right there. Right there, you blew by it. There's a lot of appeal in a classic, majestic British sedan.
Yeah, right. And I kind of like what you said, where you said this is kind of the last of the breed, having this enormous vehicle with a twin-turbo V8 and over 20 kilowatt hours worth of battery on board, essentially a first-gen Nissan Leaf plus a twin-turbo V8. It's so over the top, but it's so well packaged in a vehicle that works in a cohesive way. It's awesome.
And the other great thing about, of course, Bentley is that you can make this car completely your own. You said there are, what, 30 billion different combinations of like colors and materials and
100%.
Styles that you can craft this car in.
And you've got the speeds and the Moliners and the Azure, and I mean, anything you want on your dream Bentley you can make happen. And then if you want the ultimate in luxury, I actually find that the EV mode is the best for that, because you get that perfectly silent powertrain just wafting you up this mountain. Just some slight shifts through that transmission, but it is so refined.
If I were to like say one word that describes this, I would say it is majestic, Tommy.
I would say
it is a majestic car.
buttery.
Buttery, huh?
Yes, it's
Like-
just sumptuous.
So wait, is it buttery or is it sumptuous? Pick
Kind
one.
of the same thing there, Dad. But then let's say you don't want to be buttery or sumptuous. You can dial it in a sport mode. That's going to kick on that V8. And then when you go for that accelerator, you get that 680 PS of power. Oh, it's pretty good.
But it doesn't have the Bentayga speed little crackle and pop of the exhaust. I guess that's not majestic.
No, that is not majestic.
But it is fun.
No, this is a quiet, refined experience, right? But it's still incredibly fast. I don't know why you would need the 770 horsepower version, but if you want the ultimate in your four-door luxury sedan, that is an option.
And also, Tommy, I think one of the reasons that Bentley has been very successful is, of course, it competes with Rolls-Royce, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're tired of seeing all the Rolls-Royces in your neighborhood and you want to be the guy with the more sportier car.
Well, this is like a driver's Rolls-Royce. Right?
Yes, exactly.
This is ultimate in refinement, but it's for someone that still wants to drive. You could be driven, but this is a car that you could daily drive regularly if you could afford it.
Yeah, if your neighbors all have Phantoms, you show up with this, you're going to be the young, youthful, lifestyle-y, rich guy.
And I think we're going to see more of this in the industry, is this push and move toward buttons and switches on the ultra premium.
Oh, look at that.
Right?
Yeah.
Because as every car now has digital clusters and digital infotainment and digital buttons for everything, having actual dials across the center with a wood inlay is kind of an old school luxury that I really think we're going to see a return to, and Bentley is there. And then leather on everything, right? This is another thing that kind of is now a defining feature when even a Volkswagen now has massaging seats. You can't just add features, you have to add craftsmanship, and I think that's where the Flying Spur really does a nice job.
Yeah, and I think that this is the thing that a lot of the manufacturers today are missing, and that is, especially with the Chinese coming on strong with not only tech but features, and of course really great electrification and range and quick charging, right? The one thing that the Chinese companies don't have is tradition, and this is steeped in tradition.
Yeah. So, folks, we would love to know your input on this car. This is my favorite Bentley in the lineup. Something about the full-size sedan is even more appealing to me than the two-door coupe or convertible or SUV, because it is just old-school British refinement. So this is the car of all the ones that we've been driving the last week that's gotten me most excited, especially in this peacock blue against the linen. Is a beautiful combination.
And Bentley, that flying squirrel idea, that's all yours.
Yes, you can have that one
You
for
can have
free.
that one for free. All right, guys, head on over to alltfl.com for more news, views, and real-world reviews. And Tommy, shall we go grab ourselves a GTC?
Let's see what's next.
Let's go do that. See you guys next time. Ciao.